Actually, these aren't even a prop. These are my League of Legends character cards. There you go. We will be getting into the match in just a moment. However, you may notice something new below our caster cams or in the draft once we get to it. That, of course, would be HyperX. This broadcast is powered by the 32GB DDR4 Fury memory sticks provided by HyperX. We're also giving away an Alloy FPS RGB keyboard and a Pulsefire Surge mouse to every single member of the winning team. We'll be giving away some HyperX material over on our Twitter as well, so do be sure to follow us there. We're at City League and using the hashtag TCL. Speaking of, you can use the hashtag TCL to let us know who you think is going to win this game, because it should be a really close one. The draft's already begun. We've got a Sivir as the first lock-in. You're happy.
Yeah, Sivir's just really strong, and I'm surprised it wasn't banned out. I can understand the priority on the Yuumi, Sejuani, and Mordekaiser, though. And that's why they left it open. Draven, very, very strong in the meta right now. I think he's got something ridiculous like a 53% win rate. And I'm interested to see what they pick, because anything from Nami to a Leona to anything with a lot of CC works really well with Draven. That Karma, not necessarily going into the support role.
Yeah, we saw a lot of mid-Karma actually from this exact roster in the past.
Yeah. And something that I also want to mention is Numa played in the mid lane on the Katarina against Banja Luka 1 last week, playing in the top lane as Unfeared, subbing in for LeJuan, and I know you like LeJuan a lot.
Yeah, I do. But I'd also like to talk about how they don't like Kuve. Because Kuve just had his entire pool banned out during the first ban phase. And like, I'll admit, his entire pool is Thresh Morgana, so like, that's not a lot. But also, it's brutal that this team banned it out, and let's decide that this is a Swordfish side who knows how to play with it.
Yeah, and as we're going to see the Ahri and the Hecarim being picked up, a Fizz and Valence looking for a lot of aggression. Of course, Fizz not the strongest champion in those early levels, but once he hits 6, that ult cooldown pretty short. It's going to be a lot of spice in the mid lane on against Voldemort's Ahri.
And before while we're in the second ban phase, I should mention, you may notice several of the player names over on that Swordfish Banja Luka 2 side are the same as the player names on Swordfish Banja Luka 1. It's not the same players playing, but they are playing at the same setups, so they just left the accounts logged in as opposed to having to deal with the account issues that held us back last week. So currently, Belagica is playing on the account Surgecop, Mix234 is playing on the account Pog, and Alexander is playing on the account Easy Life Easy Skins. We are just going to refer to them by their in-game name to minimize confusion. So, we'll just say it's Pog, but you'll know in the back of your head, because you'll keep track of it.
Yeah.
Adlibs.
And like, we are definitely keeping track of those name changes, as well as we see the Nautilus and Zac bans coming through, and I still reckon that's going to be Karma into that mid lane just really strong early, and can... Oh, wait, it's a Fizz. It could be Karma top, depending on what gets picked, but most likely going to be
You really
Karma
don't think this is
now.
to be Karma bot?
I like Karma a lot, and I want to see more spice, because I feel like there are better things.
And Kube's going to play it because of where it was drafted.
Yeah,
I think
there are better things that work with Draven, though, is my logic behind this, essentially.
Okay. I think there are better things that work than Draven, though.
Draven is very, very strong right now, and I am Crocky is gonna show you why the Draven is so big.
I will let him convince me. He can sell me, but he's gonna have to work kind of hard on it, because I've seen a couple Dravens here in the City League, and not one of them has made a long-term in-game impact.
And TJ, just in case the Fizz wasn't enough spice, all that Draven, Lee Sin. Teemo is not getting locked in. I'm not believing it. That Furry Crit is not going to be there. Neither's the Singed. Quinn is possible. As no, there we go. Yeah, Fiora. That makes sense.
You were real worried for a moment there. I could hear it in your voice.
I was. Every time a new one would come up, I think no, but then I started thinking maybe this is the one that gets locked in from Swordfish Banja Luka 2.
The moment of truth. What is going to be played in the support here? Sunchkov pulls out a Pike.
Oh, there we go. Pike, Sivir, fairly strong, but Draven, again, we're going to have to see how good I Am Crocky is. And now, as you mentioned, the truth as a Mumu in... Okay, no, flex. Right, let's just ignore everything for 12 seconds as... Please be a Galio. Please be a Galio. Okay, fine. I mean, Cassiopeia top could work quite well into that Fiora.
I think that's mid. I think it's Fizz, top, Karma, and support.
Cassiopeia has been played a fair bit in the top lane, and just because she will have the... Okay, thank you. Just because she will have the phase rush, just because she has a phase rush, it means she can kind of kite around Unholy Kiss that little bit and get off the damage through. It also means that she is that little bit safe into the Hecarim. Still very vulnerable though until she gets that Petrifying Gaze at level 6. However, expect to see Victus a fair bit in this mid lane just because Fizz is a little bit weak until about level 3 where he can get off his full combo and get off those electrocute stacks. And bot lane will just be able to do bot lane stuff because Draven's so good early game, as is Karma, of course, being able to start with an ultimate level 1.
What are those headsets? You're all right, your analysis is great. But those headsets glow on the ears? Do you see that?
Oh,
wait, no, go back!
No, wait for this, TJ. Wait for production to put our beautiful faces back on the cast because I have something to show you. So we're going to see that Banja Luka set up again. And...
Look at... I haven't seen that before. It's just that one dude's headset. Wait, no, the guy next to him has it as well. I love that because it's like a way for people to know that you're listening. You turn it on.
How cool would it be?
Not...
How cool would it be if when they talk, it lights up like volume levels?
Very, extremely cool.
Okay, are you ready for this, TJ?
Uh-huh. Oh my god, that is cool. I need to upgrade.
I think it'd be downgrading to these headsets. Maybe our good old sponsors HyperX have some cool lighting up headphones.
You know, they do have some sick headsets, and if I wasn't mistaken, that was a HyperX headset that was being worn over on the opposite side. So maybe HuB Valence up an edge.
Maybe lighting up headsets give you that little bit of edge. I don't know, maybe
HyperX headsets. Those are HyperX headsets.
Those are but the HyperX...
My eyes are good. Pay me more, HyperX.
Wait, are you getting paid by HyperX?
Nope.
No one let me into this.
I am not getting paid by HyperX, which is why they should pay me more.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'll pay you on behalf of HyperX. I will give you 1 cent, because I know you're from America, so I won't say 1p. 1 cent, and it's because it's worth less than 1p at the minute, for every cast we do together.
You know what? I will take that because I'm poor. You know who's not poor, though? Your opinions are not poor. They're quite good. So, I'd like you, coming out of this draft, having seen both sides, who do you think is going to come out on top?
So, is this a prediction based off a draft or based off who I think is going to win?
You can give me both.
So, I honestly think the win is going to go over to HuB Valence just because I think they're a better team. They were stronger last week. In terms of actual...
But do you understand their draft?
Their draft doesn't make sense. They've got no front line. Their entire comp revolves around Swordfish, Banja, Luka 2 overextending. You've got the Petrifying Gaze. You've got Unfeared's ultimate. All of this stuff can catch people out if they push too far. The only way they can possibly engage and actually get something is Victor's getting into the back line, getting behind someone, getting that Dragon Rage kickoff, and knocking probably Unholy Kiss, Sunkyov, or Voldemort into the rest of the Valence team. But the actual team comp isn't great because even if they find these picks, they run such a big risk from the Hecarim just running in. So in terms of draft, they don't have, the better comp. But if they can get ahead, which I do believe they will, just because I feel that they're that little bit better. I hope I'm proved wrong and we see a really tightly contested game. But if they do get that little bit ahead, each time they get caught out, each time that Sonic Wave hits, each time that Fizz Ultimate lands, each time they get hit by a Draven Q, it's going to blow them up.
How do you feel? How do you feel about this Sunjkov versus Kuve bot lane? Because I'm a real big fan of actually both those players.
I think Pyke's a decent pick into the Karma, but that being said, Karma has a fair bit of sustain, so even Kuve is going to be able to dodge a lot just because of the E, and now that E gives a shield for as long as your movement speed buff is up, it's going to make it that much harder for Sunkyov to be able to land anything. And with Crocky there, if Sunkyov goes for something onto that Karma, there's going to be a lot of Draven spinning axes going onto Unholy Kiss or even Sunkyov himself.
There's a little bit of poke in the bot lane for now. Unholy Kiss very alone. Normally you don't see that, but the Sivir just walked out there. He wasn't afraid. I suppose there isn't any massive CC to punish him.
Exactly. I mean, the only thing is the Dragon Rage kick, but sorry, what am I saying? The Sonic Wave. But if that actually gets followed up by Victus with the Resonating Stripe, he's essentially killing himself because he doesn't know where the rest of Banja Luka 2 are. So has to be careful as both junglers looking to start on their red buffs.
That's all it is for now, though. Pretty quick checks. Easy Life will have it. And just like that, the standard jungling phase begins. Let's talk about kind of game phases then. Focusing on this early game, do you see the Sivir lane kind of struggling just because it hasn't gotten started yet? Or does Draven's powerful late game scale just mean he wins every part of this game? Okay,
so the missed kind of conception, I guess, with Draven is that he's strong late game. He's strong late game if he snowballs. He's the strongest early game ADC alongside your Lucian. If he doesn't scale, he doesn't deal damage. His entire kit revolves around those spinning axes, blowing people up, and himself being able to sustain with a Bloodthirster off that. If he can't get that damage, it's useless, but in the top lane.
Numa will not get out. Pog has the dive, a chase down, and an easy pickup. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and well played by Pog to find that, as a bit of damage coming through onto Undefeated, which is what we kind of expected this early game. You've got the Glacial Augment from Voldemort's Ari going into that Electrocute, so looking for those kind of picks. It works well. We do see Glacial Augment more in competitive than the Electrocute, but in the top lane, Fiora being big, and Fiora scales really well, so going to be a scary, scary Fiora when we get to that late game.
Voldemort in the mid, also not something we see a ton of on either side of that map. What is this wave? How did that happen? Poor Pog.
Oh, Easy Life is here.
Yeah, Numa will be in trouble as Easy Life arrives, but Pog didn't get the memo. He turns around, Voldemort survived, the charm's through, they'll get the kill.
Good stuff from the side of Banja Luka, who are now sitting 2-0, so not what I was anticipating at all. I said I wanted to be proved wrong, and it seems that I have a 600 gold lead on the side of Valence. Kuve getting CC'd.
Yeah, pull forward as well. Things get dangerous for a hot second as the Pike does land, but you can just see already the damage potential of the Draven. Just like blowing people up. They've got a flank as well. Here's the Lee Sin in the area.
Can he get off that Sonic Wave?
They'll try. There's the dive in. Oh! Unholy Kiss gets free. Victus goes in. Full damage there. Croaky's got the kill.
Yeah, double flash coming in from Croaky and Victus, and they're able to find that play, which is pretty good as they managed to get a kill for their own, and now they've got the goal lead. First drake of the game is going to be this Cloud Drake, which spawns in 20 seconds as we do head into a pause.
I'm trying to see if I can spot out. Unholy Kiss is apparently changing his mouse. Can we go to the camera? I wanna see Unholy Kiss in the course of changing a mouse.
Yeah,
There we go.
It's probably just going to be.
Sure is plugging in a mouse. All right, I'm satisfied.
There you go. Right.
That's all I needed.
It's almost like you've never heard of a USB cable, TJ.
You know, they used to be. That USB wasn't what your mouse plugged into. There was a separate mouse plug. And I saw, only a few weeks ago actually, a gaming mouse that plugged into the mouse input.
A gaming mouse that plugged into the what?
Into the dedicated mouse input on the back of an older PC.
What? The one with loads of pointy things in it? Pins?
Yeah.
That's what they call. That's a tech term. Ooh. Was it a good mouse?
And I was like trying to work out who the target market is. Because it's got to be someone that owns an Apple Mac from the early 2000s.
I mean,
and therefore is
I'm going to take a look.
old.
I'm going to take a look at my PC right now. Do I have the dedicated? I do have the dedicated mouse thing, but
oh my god!
The unfortunate thing about that is, you know, you can't plug it. You can't plug it into a laptop, so it's only good for PCs. I wonder if they perform better.
Huh. I'd believe it if you were like, actually, the input lag is significantly less because it's a more direct connection to the hard drive. Like, that's all made up, but I would believe it if somebody said it to me.
Like, I'm looking at my mouse now. I cannot tell, but then again, you know, Pro League players like Faker and stuff, apparently if they play on 20 ms ping, they feel the lag. I don't know how.
Oh, definitely.
They're used to like 5 ms ping in Korea, and if it gets above 20, they literally say it's unplayable. Whereas for me, anything up to about 70, I won't feel.
I live in America. Anything below 90, it's good for me. Looks like we've got the mouse changed down. He plugged in his pins. We got ourselves a game. We're back into it. Easy life, easy skins opens things up with a charge onto Numa. They will have a lot of poke. Not quite a kill. Numa's got the turret and the safety of the turret to keep it safe.
Yeah, the riposte can't quite land because that would have got the slowdown, which would have been enough. However, look at this CS advantage in the bot lane. They were able to find that kill, and even though they got brought that little bit low, double the CS of Unholy Kiss.
They've got to be happy about that, as it keeps them doing quite well. How do you feel? So I was going to ask you this, and then we had a whole thing, but how do you feel about this mid lane? What's going on with Irie?
So Voldemort's playing Ahri pretty well, but that's just something that happens into Fizz. Fizz fairly weak early on. When he hits 6, that's when we'll really start to see stuff happening. Hasn't even back yet, and he does need items to be able to do stuff. As in the bot lane, Victor's getting caught out.
Yeah, Victus will be in a lot of trouble. You do have Sunchkov coming through as well for the punish. If he can land it, but there are 3 players nearby. He will land the pole. Stun up as well. Victus has the backup though, so there's no way to catch him all.
Yeah, they aren't able to get anything. No sums burnt either. And just to clarify, easy kill, easy life, easy skin. Doesn't have Flash playing that Hecarim, of course, going for the Ignite. Sometimes you see the Ghost coming through. He's going for that more Chakra Bell. There's I am Crocky.
Unholy Kiss is in a lot of trouble. Sunchkov tries to interrupt, but his stun is too late. 2 for 2, even in the kill feed.
Yeah, and that's just the power of Draven. All of a sudden, they can just decide, you know what, let's turn it on. And having Cuvée on that Karma, you know, having the Inspire to be able to get off that bonus movement speed and no attack speed, but it just helps so much to help Crocky get closer, close that gap and get off the damage.
Watch how much he hits this turret for.
Yeah, it's at least 1 play, probably a second. A Sunkyub is here, 1 more, there you go.
Oh my god, they have been very efficient, and Sunchkov will go wide when he tries to grab the pull as well. It's not ideal. Unholy Kiss is here, so that should be all they get, but I can't see Crocky's upset about that, provided Easy Life, Easy Skins doesn't find the pull. Cuvée trying to get him out, they've got the turn, Easy Life's gone, Sunchkov in trouble as well, he just has to flee. My god, you cannot touch this bottom lane.
Yeah, Crocky burning the heal, and then the ignite coming through from HuB. Didn't even have to burn a flash and easy life. Get absolutely obliterated.
Numa up top is managing to hold their own as well. Porg in a lot of trouble.
And this is why Numa not that strong super early into the Fiora, but as she's able to pick up that tier, is able to poke more and more, doesn't lose so much mana, because the whole issue with Cassiopeia is that Twin Fangs uses so much mana when you're poking. Of course, when you pick up a minion kill with it, it refunds the mana, but when you're trying to poke, no mana back as Victus.
Big trouble, Voldemort through. Victus will find the Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike doesn't come through. Numa's in trouble as well. There's a full 3-man squad here, and 2 more kills against the HuB Valence side. Swordfish, Banja, Luka sweep up the top lane again.
And it's been a lot of good roams into this top lane. Victor's getting caught out at the start, and Numa just too slow to back off as now in the bot lane. Crocky looking really aggressive.
Be the same thing. Unholy Kiss, chase down.
Oh.
HuB close range. There's the ult popped. Sudkov in trouble. HuB will eat a lot of turret damage, but it does not matter because it's another kill back over and a very, very, very unfortunate bot lane engagement.
Oh, and in the mid lane,
You find one more, unfeared through. Voldemort survives the exchange, plays safe.
Chunder Waters lands, forces a flash from Voldemort. But look at this cooldown, not just over a minute on a level 1 ultimate from Unfeared. And I would be very surprised. Yeah, he doesn't have the Ingenious Hunter, which is surprising because it does give that cooldown on ability on you know, items when he'll pick up the Proto Belt, etc. Gonna make his way back into that mid lane, and that first fire break still up.
Numa? Rough!
Yeah,
I kept
very rough
thinking he
game.
was going to be able to disengage. But he's just been having a rough time against that Hacker. Bot lane is going the opposite way though.
Yeah, and Numa having a really rough time, but we said how good this Draven would be in this early phase, and that has been the case, you know. 83 CS to 48, and even considering a Draven into Sivir, that's really good. He's picked up that double BF, and he's not actually trolling. You build 1 BF to go into the Bloodthirst, or 1 BF to go into the Infinity Edges. Victus will get spotted out by the minions. They're just going to push this and potentially look for the dive as the whirling axes are available.
That turret's gone, then underneath the dive, they'll take the turret. And just like that, it's an early pickup for HuB Valence. So I have to ask you then, does the bot lane make up for how bad the top lane has been?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's just because Easy Life, Easy Skins and Voldemort have put so much time and effort into that top lane, whereas the bot lane of Crocky and HuB have been able to do all of this themselves. In fact, they won one of those 2v2 trades as Numa getting caught out.
Is in riposte, goes wide. Numa just trying to back away. Has some fancy movement through the push, but their bad day continues as Porg gets another kill.
Yeah, and Numa just stretching too far, not able to drop out that vision, and Porg in the right place at the right time, able to actually find the play.
He
and
couldn't slither away from that one.
I'm gonna completely ignore what I've just heard here.
What?
So moving on with the broadcast. Hello Twitch chat. TJ is leaving after that fun.
That was like even one of my
next week. It was a good one. I'm just very upset because I like puns myself, and every time I do a pun, I get flamed for it by everyone. So
why are you doing this to me?
I don't know. It's like the circle of bullying. The bully person
break
becomes
the circle
the bully.
of bullying.
Oh.
Here in City League, we're against cyberbullying, even though one of the casters does it to the other. Usually a top tower attack. Crocky and HuB shift up to the top lane, and actually, we were asking earlier, does the bot lane doing well make up for the top lane struggling? Apparently it quite literally does, as the bot lane goes to the top lane and just takes the turret.
And this is why you swap lanes, especially pre-40 minutes, because it means that, you know, your fed bot lane can get more turret plates. And you wouldn't switch it if your top lane was winning, because your top lane's not really going to be able to push it in unless it's like a Nasus or, I'm trying to think of another example, an Urgot, where, you know, they can 1v2. But here we go.
Yep, Melky in for the poke. Unholy Kiss just backs off. Nobody quite wants to full engage. And I can understand why, with the amount of power just hovering up here in the top lane. Finally, they'll poke in again. I don't think you can hold this turret. I think it would be a mistake to play defense around this turret.
Yeah, and they have to look for other stuff on the map.
Over the wall, Voldemort 100% thought about going for that, decided, opted out at the last second.
Yeah, just wasn't sure where Crocky was, and that Draven's so big right now. So Bloodthirster has been picked. And, I mean, 7 kills to 5 in favor of Banja Luka too, but the goal lead on the side of Valence.
Scarf in the bush here will get chunked down. You can see the poke going his way. But he is a slippery one. He'll consistently be able to fully disengage. Now Cuvée shows up, but again Zundkop is able to hop away. Stay safe. That turret, as I said, will be falling the second literally one minion gets to it. Yeah, Numa down at the bot lane can keep this turret safe. That means it's a net win for HuB Valence.
Oh, Numa looking aggressive, just going to get the poke off with that miasma, and it's playing Cassiopeia into Pure is a really high skill matchup. It's all about getting your miasma down at the right time. I mean, if Porg has a riposte into it, it doesn't really do much. As quite surprising that Unfeared and Voldemort, neither of them have, well, actually, Voldemort just picked up his GLP, but Unfeared still unable to abort that Lich Bane despite having that 20 CS advantage, and that's primarily due to Voldemort's rotations to those top lanes.
That Rift Arrow was successfully picked up by HuB Valence. They'll be able to bring that to bear. This is looking like a real good game for them, and we were really questioning that draft. But it looks like it doesn't matter, because they just got their Draven going. And Croaky keeps going. I mean, well, they won't lose anything.
I mean, this would have been much better if they took anything like an Aatrox. I mean, Tahm Kench was banned. Silas is a bit weak, right? Silas is very weak right now. He's got the lowest win rate of any champion on League at the minute. But they could have taken the Aatrox. They could have even gone for a Nasus and Urgot. I think it would have been better. Even at Jax, because Jax into Furus a nice counter matchup. So anything could have worked a bit better because they would have had a better frontliners. Right now, Valence looking to set up for this Mountain Drake, which will be on the Rift in 10 seconds.
Yeah, control of it going both ways. There's some gardening happening nearby, so I'll pass this to you for a moment.
There's some gardening happening, okay? I've never heard farming referred to as that, but Mountain Drake getting taken down as he's engaged.
Full pressure through, now things get dangerous. Porg and Easy Life both very low, stuck in the pen. One goes down, Easy Life stays up for a moment, and even the kills are all picked up by HuB Valence. The Draven himself, Croaky going off in the middle of the pit for 3 of the 4 kills.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Valence, and that's just how big Croaky is now, and this is why Valence were happy to play into this. They're not looking for those team fights, they're looking for the overextend to come through from Banja Luka, and they're going to find that and pick up the 3rd and final outer turret. Going to keep on going. I'm surprised Cuvée hasn't actually gone for a demolish, because they would have been really good on the Draven. He went for the inspiration on his 2nd rune tree. I mean, sometimes you see the revitalize coming through, which is always quite nice when you play farmers. Your heals and shields are more powerful. That Ardent Sense has been picked up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Unholy Grail coming through as his next item. Okay, so apparently TJ may be offline. We're having some technical issues, which means I may have full control of this stream right now. I shall take this great power with great responsibility, as 9 kills to 9 and a 5k gold advantage from Valence, as Hug looking for the play onto Unfeared. The damage coming through, he gets all of the crit strikes. One more left. The riposte will come through a bit early. The flash in, able to get the final crit. Chum the Waters will find the kill though, and Unfeared able to find the return kill on a 1-for-1 in that bot lane. And I've got TJ in my ear right now. He's getting very excited, and he's back.
I'm back, and I'm right here for a team fight. That is demolished, my god! An instant win back to HuB Valence, and it's gonna keep getting worse as those Draven hits are devastating. Rift Herald's here, it could not get worse. They sat on that for so long.
And it comes out at the 18th minute in the game. Porg up in a second. 10 seconds until Unholy Kick and Co are available, but a very late Rift Ball.
He just got like deleted. Absolutely vanished. And it's not going to get any better as Porg and the rest of the team are back. The respawns have come through, but they've already lost Voldemort. They've already lost Inhib Turret. HuB Valence are in complete control.
Yeah, and they're going to be looking to snowball this lead, as Baron will be up soon, and they should have priority over that.
I'm going to be curious to see if this keeps turning, or if the wheel keeps going for HuB Valence, because we were talking such a big game about the late game potential of Sivir, the team 5 potential of Swordfish's draft. Is that just the only way they win this?
I think it's a major part, but don't discount Porg, because he is 6-2 right now, has got that Triforce, but crucially, he's not actually that far ahead. He's got a 1k goal lead over Numa, but because Numa's going for that Archangel staff, he's able to do a fair bit on this Cassio, but Porg will be split pushing, as he is now trying to get the pressure in the silence. But to be fair, they just need to find a good bone skewer, and Porg can try to get off the damage. But I am Rocky, just absolutely huge right now. 4 items if you include those Berserker's Greeds, and he's just absolutely massive.
He's a big boy. Very large. So, HuB Valence just looking to put the final bullet, the final nail in this coffin. You don't put a bullet in a coffin. It'll be their control of the Baron,
called double tap.
their control of the dragon.
Double tap. Like in, what's that? Zombieland. There you go, Zombieland. You have to double tap.
Never seen that movie.
You haven't seen Zombieland?
No.
It's got Woody Harrelson in it.
I don't think that's an actor. Woody Harrelson?
Wait.
Do you mean?
Can someone correct?
Woody Harrelson?
Is it Woody Harrelson? Is Woody something? As
the Asthma, Porg's in trouble. He'll try and go in here. Oh, stopwatch. Numa has to go golden, and that lets Porg escape.
Yeah, it's Woody something or other, but Zombieland. Honestly, watch Zombieland, and let me know next week, and let the Twitch chat know what you think of Zombieland, because it is a great movie.
You know what else is really fun to watch?
This game.
Nice.
There we go.
Swordfish, Banja, Luka.
I should have been more specific. Oh my god, that damage onto Unholy Kick.
Yeah. Every time he gets poked, hit. HP jump.
I'm gonna count. So he lost over 700 HP. That's more than half his HP he lost from a single Q of Crocky.
This is what happens when a Draven starts to snowball. You said, you know, there's a misconception. Draven's not good in late game unless he's good in the early game. This Draven was real good in the early game, and this Draven is terrifying in the late game.
Yeah, and he's gonna keep on scaling until Sivir gets, you know, everyone on the side of Banja Luka gets to that full HP. There isn't enough armor coming through. Yes, we've got the Ninja Tabai. That's so important. In fact, Unholy Kiss should have picked up a Ninja Tabai as well, because you have to respect this Draven. It's so much damage as Victor's looking for something on the easy life.
Yeah, we'll have to spend the onslaught of shadows just to try and get away, and it won't work out. The chase is there. Victus just runs him down. Now they've got to pick the Barons up. They could try and put the nail in the coffin in the bot lane. Numa has to find this kill for that to work out. Dodges the riposte over the miasma, and he absolutely has. Just like that, HuB Valence are 2 kills up, and the Baron is theirs for the taking. The only players in position to steal are those without a smite. Sunkov might try and go for something.
And this is just how dire the situation is for Banja when the only Fed member on their team, Porg, losing to Numa, who he was able to beat fairly comfortably in lane, and that's primarily...
Oh my! Cover your eyes! If you're near small children, assist them as well, because he just vanished. That was brutal, and it will keep going. Flash forward, past the turret. Numa's got Voldemort. That tower itself will fall shortly afterwards.
So much damage, it's ridiculous. And going back to what I was saying, Porg's not able to find anything on Numa, and that's primarily because of that armor coming through from the Zhonya's. I mean, somehow Numa's on 2 items and Porg only has 1, as now Numa has a gold lead over Porg.
Numa will be in the bot lane, split pushing. He's got a hacker on his test with his easy life, rotates up, but the rest of the team is in the top lane. Here to shut down, here to grab their second inhib of the game. If all goes well, they've got their powered minions right up against the tower.
I don't know why Victus is in his own jungle. He should be here with his team, just crashing down the wave. Because, oh my god.
Yeah. I think Victus is trying to spend his time collecting a little bit extra gold. Just because you have the minion buff, there's not really a whole lot of reason. Lee Sin's not going to be able to chunk down the tower.
But you know who can chunk down that tower?
Oh, I do. Croaky chunking down everything right now.
As Numa in the bot lane, he's just getting this bot lane turret.
I just like to examine your decision making here. What happens if you land that pull? Like what? Ideal world, you land the pull. What happens then?
Well, welcome to the world of Blitzcranks, where when you hook, you don't know if you're inting for your team, killing them as...
Oh, speaking of it, take Voldemort full in. Will spend the stopwatch just to try and stay alive with the ult there. Victus on a killing spree, and there's much more to get. Pot finally got to shut down. Now he's got to win this fight. The turn's there, and they do have Croaky. That's a massive pickup. I don't think it's enough to turn this fight, but it's a good job. Pog's there. HuB down as well. They might have done it. Just come through. Vents his ult twice. A 1v1, a 1v2, and unfortunately for them, Unfeared will be able to turn the fight. And just like that, they've got the inhib and a 5-man fight.
And that, unfortunately, the depth from below from Sunkyo coming too early, and Voldemort, unfortunately, messing that up with such an early, just overstepping. And we talked about how good this Valence lineup is at catching people out. That Crocky spinning axe flew, I think it flew about half of your screen that you see, and deleted either Voldemort or Unholy Kiss, I can't remember who, but Porg, coming pretty big in those fights, now has picked up that Spear of Shojin, and he's going to be pretty big, as the Moral and Nomicon picked up from Numa, who's now hit his 3rd item.
What's the current KD of that Draven? Could you explain that to me?
It's very, very big, and it's not very, very fair. But it is fair. I mean, he did earn that. They won the lane.
CS is bad.
Yeah, it's almost 10 CS per minute is absolutely disgusting, as Sunkyov using the Phantom Undertow to safety. As I'm just getting so much gold, and he's caught so many axes as well, and that's being able to pick up those adoration stacks is so important on a Draven. As Baron's going to be up in 2 minutes, but I feel like Valence might be trying to end this before that point.
Just trying to shut this down before it can happen. Numa has been doing an alright job despite the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, I mean, and in all fairness to Numa, he is a mid laner that's filling in top for this week. So good job from him.
Oh, stopwatch. Speaking of, Numa was under threat. Voldemort again trying to find the opener, but while he was doing that, his tower was being taken. That's the Nexus turret gone. A full dive from Victus. 1v3 might be a little bit too far, but with minions, it's all just buying time. And they've got easy life down. Porg to follow. Sinchkov picked up. It's just Kiss and Voldemort back inside the Nexus. And I don't think they can stay alive. They definitely can't turn this game. HuB Valence have their second win.
And a final spinning axe comes in from Crocky to pick up a last kill and get an even bigger KDA. But Valence, once they got out of that kind of 10-minute point, they just snowballed and they took a commanding victory at the end of that.
I've been corrected by chat. It is not a stopwatch anymore. It is Sonya's hourglass.
Oh, as it says in the chat, get your factor riff it, TJ. I don't ask me what that accent was. I tried to put.
I feel like you just offended. I don't know who. I feel offended, and it definitely wasn't a parody of me.
I don't know. I'm looking at the spelling of it and trying to put an accent as a Valence point to their shirts in victory, and good stuff from them as. I think they have secured their place in groups now.
Scottish, says chat.
Yeah, it was a very bad Scottish.
That's real loud. Hold up.
Yeah, I could hear it coming from your headphones because I have our call muted.
Reporting live from the top of Mount Everest. Little bit of background noise.
We're going to see that damage graph and check out that Draven damage.
No. Oh my god.
And
oh god.
Numa as well. Credit to him. So much damage after being pretty far behind against the Fiora, and unfortunately Fiora just couldn't be big enough. They spent so many resources trying to get Fiora ahead, but Numa's still really, really big.
How Valence look weirdly glum. Like, give me some more, boys. That was a real good game from them. They're able to come out on top, and like you said, that gives them a guaranteed place out of groups, because I don't think there's a way they could be caught because of the result of that game 1 tonight. Group A, the team with 2 wins is guaranteed to get out, because the most that could happen is another team could get 2 wins.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think
tie?
It could be a 3-way tie on 2 points.
You could have a 3-way tie.
Yeah,
you're right. They're not guaranteed.
It requires...
If we have a 3-way tie, then they could lose in tiebreakers.
It requires Valence to lose next week, and it requires Banja Luka 2 to beat the Banja Luka first team.
Are you familiar with the phrase caster curse?
Yes, in which case it's extremely unlikely that this freak occurrence will occur. Prove me wrong, fate.
Oh, don't do that, please.
I'm spicing up
You're
situations for all of
tempting
us.
the caster curse. Don't go far. We've got more caster curses to distribute. We'll start off with N-Dub and Lunatics versus SP Thessaloniki at the top of Group A. After a quick break, we'll be right back in about 15 minutes. Oh, much less than that. Minutes. Don't go far.